So the Secret Service is encouraging President Trump to stop with the outdoor rallies. I think that diminishes his rallies and takes some of the oxygen out. But I'm not President Trump. I wasn't just shot. And that has got to change people. So we're looking to see what he's going to decide and how he's handling things, including Christopher Wray coming up and testifying in front of Congress and saying, we're not sure he was actually shot. We're not sure that was a bullet, or it might have been glass, I guess, from Kamala's glass ceiling that she broke, or maybe it was shrapnel. No, read the New York Times. It was a bullet. It is so insane how these conspiracy theories come from the left, and they just expand and expand and expand on them. Carolyn Sunshine is with us. She's the 2024 Deputy Communications Director for Donald Trump. First of all, Carolyn, how are you, the staff, and the president?
Well, we are always better than Joe Biden outside the hours of 10 and 4 p.m. I can tell you that. I guess always. But I guess it looks like the Democrat Party is trying to become unburdened by what has been and have Joe step down and put the selected but not elected Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
But no, I laugh at his spirits because, it is. And crazy. It's undemocratic is what it is. Like I said, selected, not elected. It is crazy. But you can hear I'm in good spirits and laughing because I have the honor of working for President Donald J. Trump, who is a man who, after, mere seconds after an assassin's bullet, and it was a bullet, Glenn, as you just said, came within a millimeter of his life. This man got to his feet and said, fight, 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 and then went on to have a phenomenal week in Milwaukee, unifying a complete Republican Party behind him. You just saw some clips released from the great, phenomenal golfer Bryson DeChambeau, I think getting to see some of President Trump's, his humorous side. So everybody's in very high spirits. President Trump I call him the great American warrior, because I think Ronald Reagan was the great communicator, another U.S. president, a great U.S. president who had a brush with the assassin's bullet. But President Trump's the great American warrior. And as he said, I'm going to talk about this once. I'm going to share it with candor as he did on the stage in Milwaukee. And then I'm going to move on and I'm going to get back to work. And that's exactly what he's done. And it's really inspiring to work for somebody, such a remarkable leader. There's just few like him. Yeah.
So everybody that I talked to that at all liked Donald Trump or thought that, I'm thinking about voting for him. Everybody that I know, I talked to, they saw him at the convention. They said, he is a changed man. He's a different man. And not in, just I guess in his seriousness, the gravitas of it. Did the bullet change him?
I've been asked this question a lot, Glenn. It's a great question. I've been asked it a lot. I think the bullet that grazed him may have changed the country more. And the reason I say that is because I think when that bullet came within a millimeter of President Trump's life, the country realized, if not him, then who? If President Trump isn't in this arena, who is there to actually fight for a secure border and an economy where, people can actually have a chance at the American dream, let alone be able to go to the grocery store and, you buy 3 items and all of a sudden you go, how is this $100, right? It's not. And then more generally, I think for the forgotten men and women of this country who prior to President Trump's arrival on the political scene really had no authentic champion, and certainly not one of the caliber of Donald J. Trump. So I think that is really what changed. I think it was a watershed moment for the country. I think it's one of those moments where everyone's going to look back and they're going to remember where they were standing and who they were with when it happened. But I also look at, as I said, the only thing more remarkable than what President Trump survived is his reaction. Who has that reaction? Within seconds of having a bullet come within a millimeter of your life, you're up on your feet with blood still on your face, very much still in clear and present danger, and you get up and you say, fight, fight, fight. And I do think that President Trump is now in this unique category of people who, I'm sure you've known people like this too, Glenn, who have had a brush with death. It's a unique category of people who have come right to that edge of the thing that I think most of us fear deep down in a way, which is death, that this ride ends. We believe in a life after this one, but death's a scary thing. And you watch this man come within a millimeter of his life, come face to face with death, within seconds back on his feet, and also back to work. And I have a lot of reverence for the men and women in our military and our veterans and like the long history in our country of, when you look at the stories of Medal of Honor recipients, past and present, you just see the valor, that fight. You're in awe of an act like that. And I just think that this country is so deserving of somebody like President Trump, who had a brush with the assassin's bullet. Like he said, he's the man who took a bullet for democracy. And then 10 days later, this man doesn't need to go retreat to Camp David for a week or take a nap for 2 years or whatever it is. This man is like, I'm ready to get back to work for you,
Carolyn, so is he going to listen to the Secret Service? Caroline?
Well, we're really grateful to the Secret Service. And I want to say also there's a distinction, right, between the Secret Service leadership in Washington, D.C., and, the rank and file Secret Service agents who do a phenomenal job protecting President Trump, who are quite willing to give their lives for President Trump, as you saw in Pennsylvania. And, there's been a lot of talk on, outside versus inside rallies. I would say this. It's the job of the Secret Service to protect President Trump, whether a rally is inside or outside. And President Trump in the past has held many rallies that are indoor arenas. He's held many rallies that are outdoors. He just goes where the people go. So we want these investigations to play out at the D.C. level because, of course, the American people deserve answers. We don't have time to be wasting hearing Christopher Wray go through the semantics of, was it shrapnel? Was it a bullet? It was an assassination attempt on a former U.S. president's life. He's been examined by esteemed physician Ronnie Jackson, great physician, was the President Trump's physician during his time in the White House. Excellent physician. He's examined him. You've seen the reports. This is I don't know why we're wasting time on that when, by the way, it wasn't just an assassin's bullet that grazed President Trump. Corey Comparator is dead. His wife is left without a husband. His children are left without a father. We had multiple people injured, and we're wasting time on shrapnel versus bullet. And Glenn, I got to tell you, I can't believe I'm going to say this. This is the first time in a long time I heard AOC ask a question more intelligent than Christopher Wray when she asked the question, hey, if you know that the standard AR-15 has a range of, 500 yards, why isn't that factored into your perimeter calculations? Like, I was shocked. It's like there's the first time there's bipartisan consensus in Washington, D.C. for the first time in a long time, as there should be. But anyways, like I said, President Trump, he just gets right back to work, and he's going to be headed back on the road. He's headed to Minnesota. He's going to be headed to Pennsylvania. He's back on the road. It's sort of a rain or shine, indoor or outdoor type thing. We're grateful and confident for the men and women who serve President Trump in the Secret Service. And as President Trump has said, he's getting back to work. And so are the people, because it's the other thing, Glenn, too, right? Is like nobody should be afraid to attend a peaceful political rally in the United States of America. Nobody should be afraid to do that. Nobody should be afraid to lose their life at a peaceful political rally. And I know you've seen our rallies. Our rallies are extraordinary. There's just something special about them. There's something special about the energy. There's something special about thousands of people who love our country coming together in one place. And I think, again, what was remarkable about President Trump's reaction, if you remember watching that day back, when it happens in those first moments, the crowd understandably terrified, ducking, afraid. That is a normal human reaction to have. But the second President Trump gets back to his feet and says, fight, 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 within 5 seconds of that bullet grazing, coming within a millimeter of his life, that crowd was calm. It's likely President Trump saved lives that day with that reaction. It's likely that reaction
I will tell you,
stopped a, stampede.
I will tell you that when I watched it, I saw it live, and when he went down, I mean, a lump went to my throat immediately, and because I knew what was happening, and I thought, oh my God, they've hit the president, and I had that lump in my throat, and when he stood up, and I could hear him say, wait, wait, wait. And he stood up, and then he looked over the shoulder of one of the agents and puts his arm up. I was crying for an entirely different reason. That fast, it turned around in me. And it went from horror and shock to immense pride and admiration. It was remarkable. Caroline, tell me, how is he going to switch gears with Kamala? I'm sure he's not concerned about it. And does he believe that she's actually going to be the nominee?
Well, as I said, you watch the Democrat Party trying to become unburdened by what has been and thinking that if they just do a little switcheroo here, having Joe step down and putting Kamala at the top of the ticket, that somehow changes things. But it doesn't, because Joe Biden's record is Kamala Harris's record, and it's the Democrat Party's record. Look at her first few speeches. What is she saying? How much she loves Joe. Joe's been so great. I mean, she's owning this full force, and as I expect her to. Nobody has had more of a front row seat to both Joe Biden's cognitive decline and concealing that from the American people than her, Kamala Harris. But then look at her own words when she said she was the last person in the room when Joe Biden was executing his abysmal withdrawal of Afghanistan that resulted in the lives of 13 U.S. service members losing their lives. Joe Biden, of course, couldn't remember or acknowledge those on the debate stage. But point is, she was the last person in the Situation Room. She's likely been the last person in the room for many of those decisions. But here's the thing. As much as Joe Biden's record is Kamala Harris's record, she's also dangerously liberal. You know this. She comes from the failed state of California. So this is a woman who, if given the chance, would turn this country into California. She is the border czar who's never been to the border. We heard those reports you've just seen, right, of her current Border Patrol chief and former Border Patrol chief, both saying, yeah, we never got a phone call from her. She's never called. No, she's never called. Okay, well, you know what's happened since she's never called? We've had almost 20 million, maybe more, illegal immigrants come across our southern border. We've had 30 tons of fentanyl. We've had 360 names off the terror watch list come across our southern border on her watch. That's enough fentanyl, by the way, to kill every American citizen multiple times over. She was just in, she's not changing. She was just in Houston yesterday. That is a 1 hour flight, 1 hour commercial flight from the U.S. border, 45 minutes if you fly private like her. Didn't go. And that's not because of incompetence. That's because of negligence. She doesn't want to secure the border. If we don't have a border, we don't have a country. She doesn't want to secure the border. She wants to defund ICE. She said that the Border Patrol evokes themes of slavery with chains. This is not a woman who cares about law and order. It's actually part of her worldview. She's far more left than Joe Biden on a lot of issues. She's dangerously liberal. She really more closely resembles Barack Obama than Joe Biden in many ways in terms of policy and worldview.
Caroline Sunshine, thank you so much. And my best to everybody on the team. We have been praying not only for the president and his family, but also everybody on the team. Stay safe. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. Thank you. It's felt. Thank you.
Thank you.